A warm welcome to today's discussion. Welcome to this channel. And we are here to offer you life skills that will enable you become a better version of yourself. Skills that will enable you navigate life in a better way. And skills that will enable you live and thrive, whether at the family level, in your workplace, and society in general. My name is Anne Muli, taking you through these discussions. Today, I want us to share about a very important life principle. And this is the principle of contentment. Being content in life. So, what does it mean to be content? Being content is an inner state of peace and satisfaction that is not dependent on external circumstances. It's not dependent on external factors, but rather is dependent on trusting in God's provision and sovereignty. So being content is a skill that we learn as we go through life. We learn to be content with that which we have. We learn to be content with where we are at in our lives, the accomplishments that we have had so far, and the milestones that we have achieved so far in our lives. So why is it so important to operate from the space of contentment? Now, there has never been a time like now where all of us feel as though we operate our lives from the global stage. We are living in a world that is highly interconnected through technology. Therefore, each one of us is subjected to constant pressure from the local and the international community. And there is pressure to have more of this and more of that. There is pressure to become more like one individual or another individual. Now, here is a very important reality, a fact that I would like us to reconsider. In life, you will always find someone who appears to be doing much better than you. There will be people ahead of you in terms of academic accomplishments. There will be people ahead of you in terms of material wealth and riches. There will be people who are more gifted, more talented. So it is important to come to terms with that reality. Now, today I'd like us to share with us some rules of being content. Number one rule of being content: never compare yourself with other people. Don't compare what you have or what you don't have with what others have. Number two rule of being content: don't become envious of what other people have. And I'm not saying that you cannot admire other people. Of course, you can admire other people, but you don't have to acquire and have what they have. You don't have to try to be like other people. You don't know how these people got where they are at, and you don't know how their journey has been through life. The third rule of content is that know your own uniqueness and embrace your unique design. Know your abilities and your gifts. Harness them as you go through life. Become a better version of yourself, but remain true to yourself. So each of us was created with unique attributes. All of us have a unique design. And we were meant to become unique brands as we go through life. But remember that all of us were created in diversity. So even if you feel like somebody is doing so much better, somebody is so much talented in one area or another, it doesn't mean that you don't have talents. It doesn't mean that you're not talented as well. It doesn't mean that you're not gifted. It only means maybe you might be unaware about your own gifts, about your own talents, about your own abilities. So pursue to know about it, pursue to harness that which you have within you already. The fourth rule of being content. Contentment is one attribute that is directly linked to gratitude. When you learn to be at peace and have an inner satisfaction with what you have and where you are at in your life, you will find it easier to be able to appreciate that which you have. You will find it easier to appreciate where you are at in your life, the milestones you have achieved, the accomplishments that you have had in your own life. You will find it easier to celebrate the milestones so far and the achievements that you have had in life. And you would be provoked by what other people have to start complaining and murmuring. And the fifth thing about being content is that contentment arises from an inner conviction that God Almighty, the creator of the universe, is able to make available the resources that you need as you go through life. And this is because each and every day when we look at the birds, we are reminded that they don't plant and they don't gather harvest, but God provides for them and feeds them. When we look at the lilies of the field and we see how endowed they are with great beauty, we are reminded that God clothes the lilies of the field. So as God's children, we have an inner conviction, if we trust in Him, that God is able to provide for us all the resources that we need to go through life, to do life with, and to live a great life. So this is part one of the life principle of contentment. I hope it has been of help to you. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Also, remember to send us your comments in the comments section. Hope to see you in part 2 of this video as we continue with the discussion on the life principle of contentment. Thanks for watching.